We are awakening together. This is our weekly gathering we hold online. For more information, visit our website, awakening-together.org. We'd love to see you there.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sunday gathering. Oh, thank you all. Thank you for all of your weather reports and welcoming. It's great to hear about everybody's experiences. So, our statement of purpose. We are an assembly of equals joined in common purpose, awakening to one true self. Within an appearance of many faiths, many cultures, and many symbols, we seek to discern one truth and to rest in its embrace. And I couldn't decide between two core values, so I'm going to read both of them. I think I'm doing the same as what Kelly maybe did last week. Number 3, we accept one true self, which is one presence or being, non-dual, without beginning or end, and absolutely changeless. We live this value by practicing letting go of the belief in the individual self as who we are. And core value number 5, we accept all forms as temporary appearances, permitted through enduring awareness of self. We live this value by honoring all appearances and all experiences while continually reflecting on changeless truth. And I'm going to hand the mic over to George, I think, for the first. That looks amazing. Okay, so we're going to start with a song. It's a song you probably all know, but a slightly different rendition. So enjoy. Oh, wow. Thank you, Sina. The video that is on this side of the water for that song is not half as good as that. That was really good. I love the clockwork people, you know, that they just get wound up to do do all of their actions. Yeah, fantastic. So the title of this talk today is Getting It Wrong. In brackets, it's not possible. And oops, I did it again. It's like this, it's the anthem for getting it wrong, isn't it? It's like, just here we go again. So my opening prayer came today from Bentinho, which I just loved what he's written today on Instagram. So I'm going to read that as my opening prayer. God would give you the entire earth if only you were ready to do with it as he would. It is your personal life which blinds you, your lack of perspective that binds you. Surrendering your life, God finds you. Know all that you think to be false, especially that which seems true. Empty the channel, and the truly true God will flow through. When him and you collide into that indistinguishable kingdom, you will once again remember your freedom. Amen. So I'd love to ask Anne to do some readings. There's a few selections from NTI. Thank you.
Thank you. The first reading today is from NTI Acts, chapter 3. Do not worry about the mistakes you have made. They are based on ignorance. which is illusion, and affects only that which is not reality. Be happy that you have been mistaken. Be joyous that there is another way to see. This is what it means to repent. To repent is to choose again. To repent is to decide to turn from the ways of ignorance and turn to the voice of knowledge. This is a joyous decision, for this is the decision that changes all things. This decision that you have made is a decision to listen to another voice. It is the decision to let go of the thoughts you have listened to until now and to listen to another voice, the one that comes from God. This decision is a decision to change the habits you have had until now. It is a decision to see yourself through new eyes, eyes that are based on a foundation of truth. This is why I am here. I am here to help you make this change from believing in the false to listening to the voice of what is true. This is the decision of your joy. This is your path. This is your way. I will help you until you do not need this help anymore. And the second reading is from 1 Corinthians 10. There is no right and there is no wrong. There is no right thing to do and there is no mistake. Do not judge yourself on this criteria. Become as an empty shell, remembering that you do not know. If you will let go of judgment and give everything to me, I will judge it for you. I will not judge it as good or bad or right or wrong. I will only judge it as true or untrue. Then you may choose if you want that which is true, or if you desire the untrue a little longer. Remember that an empty shell holds only to its casing, and that is trust. Remember what your true desire is, for you do know. Listen to your own heart and choose what is given as true. What is not given, do not choose. In this way, you cease to think for yourself and you become as an empty shell. We partake of one loaf. We drink of one cup. This is because we are one. When you choose to think the thoughts that are not mine, you are not sharing in our thought with me. When you do not share in our truth, you entertain yourself with illusion. This does not change our truth, but it does blind you to the truth. Are you ready to remove the blindfold you have given to yourself? Are you ready to become as me and see? You, quote, you cannot serve two masters, unquote, means that you cannot believe illusory thoughts are true and know true thoughts are true also. True thoughts are always true, and illusory thoughts are not true. But illusory thoughts may be chosen as experience over thoughts that are true. If a false experience is your choice, a false experience is what you are given. But the carnival ride of falsity must end when you are ready to turn into the light. I am waiting for you to make the decision I know you will make. I am waiting for your signal, which is the empty shell. When you have given the signal to me, I will know you are ready for the light. You will not have to ask twice. The moment the signal is given, the light shall be given also. Everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. Yet, that which is not beneficial cannot hurt, because it cannot change the truth. Everything is permissible, but do you still seek that which is untrue? If your answer is no, then why do you still go after it by partaking of its illusory thoughts? That which you think is that which you experience. If you have tired of the experience that is untrue, stop feasting on its thoughts. Let them pass by without tasting them. In this way, you become an empty shell, free of the experience you no longer want. Keep what you truly want in your mind. Let true desire be your guide. And the final excerpt is from John, chapter 15. You are not separate, and so you can do nothing alone. All that you do of me. And all that you do not do of me, you have not done. Therefore, do not fear. For you cannot make a mistake if a mistake must be an action taken apart from me. And yet no action can be separate from me, as there can be no, quote, separate. Anything that is not of me does not exist. And so anything that is not of me isn't. It is nothing to be concerned about, because it is nothing. Be not concerned over nothing, for this is a distraction from your joy. Instead, look only to me, and you look only to reality, which is joy, because reality knows not of separateness, and so it knows not of nothing. That which knows not of nothing must be everything. And it is that which I am, and you are also. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. Brilliantly read. When the title for this gathering came in, I didn't know why it did. And as the time unfolded and as I contemplated and was guided to the various readings and the various songs, and it just unfolded beautifully into a recognition of the amount of time that I spend thinking that I've got it wrong. Having this idea that there is a right way to do it, and if there's a right way to do it, then there's got to be a wrong way. And I will, and maybe occasionally I get it right, but that means that the majority of the time I get it wrong. And this whole thing kind of allowed me to really look at, well, is it possible to get anything wrong? Is it possible that there is anything wrong here? And obviously on a purely conceptual basis, I could quote, all the teachings that would tell us, that that's not possible, that there is nothing wrong here, but on an experiential level, which is what we are here to do, it's a very different story. So what happened, I did the letting go of fear retreat a few weeks ago. And just before that retreat, I was at a meeting in, thank you, Shauna. I was at a meeting in, it was a committee meeting in public, and I walked in, and a friend of mine shouted across a room full of people some personal information about me. And I could feel the trigger. I could feel the seeming attack on the person. Yeah, I don't think it was meant as an attack, but it felt like that. I was able to observe that. I was able to kind of observe the feelings in the body, and I was able, for the most part, to let it go. And I didn't see it at the time. I didn't see it till many days later, until I spoke about it to my daughter, who had been there at the time. And I spoke about it, and I could hear ego like just screaming at me, "What are you doing? Why are you talking about this? You said you weren't going to talk about this." And I realized, well, Anne actually pointed it out to me, that until I heard that voice berating me for doing what I said I wasn't going to do, I didn't realize that I had been trying to do the right thing by not talking about it. And I can feel the resistance right now to even unpacking this, and the fear of allowing Kate not to have control of what happens. But in that instance of being in control of doing the right thing, I was choosing my way. I wasn't following guidance. I was deciding that this was the right way to handle things, and that was what I was going to do. And only by doing the opposite of that, and I don't think I chose to do that. I think that it was a gift. It was, it was a moment, a holy instant that happened that had me telling the story again out loud, to hear the voice of ego telling me I'd got, what was I doing and how dare I, speak, that I was able to kind of see, oh, I was trying to be in control, and that was only because I don't ever want to get it wrong. And I don't ever want to get a mistake. And in all of these readings that we've just looked at, we can see that we're being told over and over and over again that there is no mistake. There are slight contractions that happen. There are things that happen in consciousness that are, like Michael Forbes was saying earlier in the meditation, there's the heaviness of the person. But they're not wrong. They're not opposite to what we are. They're the same. They're just a contraction. And so as I was talking to, I was sharing with my partner earlier, who is not on a spiritual path, but is like a very wise person. But, I was talking about that my talk today was going to be about getting it wrong, and how he pointed out that I am very into getting it wrong, that I really like getting it wrong, that I think the words he used were that you're really into that. You're really into giving yourself a hard time about and pointing out in yourself where you're getting it wrong. And I, and on in Acts, it says, this decision you have made is a decision to listen to another voice. There are so many times where I can look at something and just decide, yeah, that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go down that road, and I'm really going to immerse myself in that. So the change that comes, which came at 5 o'clock this morning, and I will just pull it up here on my phone, was this poem. Is there anything more perfect than a mess? A really big mess. One of those you feel like it cannot be got over, cannot be smoothed out, can never be let go. It will always be here, always telling you and everyone else exactly what you are. I can feel it, taste it, almost even smell it. Can I stick my nose in? Can I savor its flavor? Can I rummage around in there and immerse in this big old mess and watch it till it gets bored of my attention, gets melted by my love, absorbed by the wholeness that I am, and wait patiently for the next call. Mess on aisle 3. So that came in at 5 o'clock this morning. So I thought that was pretty cool. And that's the thing, is that this, you know, what do I do with this? Like, if I'm getting these very short little snapshots of right-mindedness, very short little snapshots of clarity, but the rest of the time I'm saying that I'm getting it wrong. What can I do? What can I do with that? And what I do with that is what we've been taught to do, which is give it my attention, give it my love. That's all I've got to do with it. And that's all I had to do when I recognized that I had been trying to do it right. I had to go, oh, I was trying to do it right. That's okay. That's all right. All I have to do is relax and just be with it. Give it my attention. Give it my love. And becoming the empty shell, not knowing what's next, not knowing, like this, I've had the title and a few other bits for this talk for a couple of weeks, and nothing else came. It was just like, and I was going, but I have to have something. And the reading of especially Corinthians, become as an empty shell, remembering that you do not know, letting go of judgment and giving everything to me. I will judge it for you. I will not judge it as good or bad or right or wrong. I will only judge it as true or untrue. So what's true? What is true about me? What is true about this? Is that I want to let go of the belief in the individual self as who I am. This is not about me, you know. And I realized as I was speaking, I was like, oh God, you're saying I a lot. You know, this is the confines of the language, isn't it? But it's not about me. It's not about whether I get it right or not. It's about being with the experience that I'm having. And the experience that I'm having is I'm getting it wrong a lot of the time. There was a brilliant piece by what's the lady's name? I will remember it when I read it here. Liz Cronkite, right? And she does these like little emails out every week, and one of them was just brilliant. And I'll just read you a little bit of it. Another form of resistance is thinking you must be at peace all the time. So I'm reading that as I must be getting it right all the time, okay? Do you have any idea how much is accomplished in feeling true peace at all? In just one holy instant? It is ego that makes such a big deal about what is in your conscious awareness every moment. It doesn't matter. The truth in you is not affected one iota by what occurs in your conscious awareness. This is what you see in the holy instant. So those moments of clarity are, you know, when I see that clearly, it's absolutely fine for me not to have that experience 90% of my day. It's fine. Only ego would have a problem with that. Only ego would say, you know, that there is right and wrong. Consciousness doesn't say that. It doesn't have any idea of what right and wrong is. It's all it's interested in is isness. And there is no right or wrong in that. So the question that came up as Anne was reading John, was it John? No, it was the end of Acts. No, end of Corinthians, sorry. Was why am I so addicted to this idea that I get it wrong? And it is just this, it's the human condition. It's just the Catholics really got it right, you know, you know, we're born with original sin. We're born wrong, you know. And it's like, you know, you have to, you know, this is the human condition, you know, this is the world. It's like, oh yeah, there's duality here. There's right and wrong. And seeing that it's just that clear mistake that's happened is a joyous moment, is something to be welcomed and loved and appreciated. And you know, that was the main kind of message of the letting go of fear retreat, was to be able to turn towards it, turn towards the discomfort and the discombobulation and the you know, the not knowing what's going to happen next. And I had this, you know, I've just been having all these wonderful experiences of fear since the retreat. And, you know, like everything from like just noticing the jumpiness, you know, I've got a mouse problem at the moment, and a mouse ran past my feet earlier. And so I'm able to kind of look at that and go, oh, there's fear. What's that feel like? What's that doing to the body? Right to the fear of the nameless fears. Like one morning I woke up and, one night I was just dropping off to sleep, and just the body just went into this like absolute frozen fear, and the heart was pounding, and I didn't, you know, there was nothing I could pin it on, but I could just be with it. I could just let it be. the only thing that would tell me that was wrong was a story that, you know, and the story, the only thing that a story can be told about is a character or a set of characters. And I am not that. I am not that character. I am not that story. And I just have to keep remembering that, keep pointing myself back to that. And it's through the experience, through, you know, so turning towards the discomfort, turning towards the not knowing, and, you know, just even with as much, like, surrender is such a loaded word, isn't it? But it's like immersing in the experience. And maybe there is just that fear of the addict, you know, the addict to life, that if I immerse myself in this feeling, I will be lost. But that's the lie. Immersing myself into the feeling is the way through. It's like that's, you know, like Bentinho said, it's freedom. It's where everything melts away and everything is allowed, even getting it wrong. Let me just check the time. Okay, we're doing good. We're doing good. So, yeah, there was something about John as well that that is the you are not separate, and so you can do nothing alone. All that you do of me, and all that you do not do of me, you have not done. The idea that I could do something right is wrong. The idea that I could, you know, have, you know, made a decision about what I was going to say or what I wasn't going to say is from the idea that I am separate and that I can do something here. That's just a mistake. And it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay for me to have done that. And like Regina said this week in 7 Steps, you know, we're going to make mistakes. We are always going to make mistakes. There's always going to be moments where we get it, you know, we just say, you know, something that maybe isn't appropriate or hurt someone's feelings or trigger someone or trigger ourselves but what do we do with it? Are we going to look at it with our inner wisdom, with our guide? Are we going to look at it as what we are? Or are we going to look at it as the person? And for as long as you want to, you can look at it as the person, and there will be lots and lots that the person will have to say about it and feel about it and have pain and suffering. And then you can choose again, and you can look at it from what you actually are. And yeah, so just coming back to that thing of being with the experience, being with whatever is happening. So if it is that feeling of getting it wrong or not having done something right, be with that. Be with whatever is. Allow whatever is to happen and be with it fully. And see what happens. And so this song for contemplation is called Let It Go, and it's sung by a friend of mine. And it's been the practice to, like, I'm a very vocal person, so I will let my stuff out very loudly. So I thought this was the perfect song for contemplation. Oh, wow. Thank you, Sina. Thank you for all the beautiful images as well. That was gorgeous. Yeah, this song is by my partner did the music, and a friend of mine sang it. It's called Let It Go. It's not on YouTube. But yeah, so this is, we've got a few minutes to, if anyone would like to share.
Sharon has her hand up.
Oh yeah, one Sharon.
I would put my screen on, it's not working and I'm sick. Kate, that was magnificent, just magnificent. I often tell people I came to this planet because everybody was going to tell me what I did wrong. And that's from the beginning of my life. So the spiritual path was not easy for me because, and you know what I see so much is the one mind, how it works in through all of the ego. It's just so obvious, because, this started in elementary school and I was like, mortified. Like they would say, well, there were 3 people, because I'm going to be 68. In those days, they really did target people that had ADD or whatever. And so they'd call my name and I would be so ashamed. And those patterns went right through the Sharon character. But you're right. We are not the character. The character is just a complete simulation. And we are that which is watching. Thank you. So beautiful, Kate.
Oh,
beautiful.
Thank you, Sharon. It's lovely to hear your voice. Yeah.
Yes, I echo the sentiments that Sharon just said and the sentiments on the board. And as you were sharing, I've been reading these Shelley Ann Harkin poems, as you know. I thought maybe I'd share one that it just sits right here after you're sharing. It's called Whirling Festival. You won't ever get it all done. Leaves will continue to fall all over the forest floor, just when summer thinks she's gotten everything cleaned up. Please don't try so hard to keep it all in. Blossoms will one day shoot their wild-headed ideas out of what used to be their tight, orderly, self-contained buds. And every year, the trees become hippies, sharing the free love of their juicy, fruity creations with anyone who desires. Darling, you are a part of this wild design, and it's okay to let go of it. Try putting a jig in the step of your soul and join this whirling festival of all that is, in the dance of the undone and ever becoming.
Oh,
Thank
gorgeous. Oh, it's beautiful. You're still muted, Ruby. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Thank you, Sina. That was absolutely beautiful. As a matter of fact, this morning, it was just so right on for me. Every single line, every single message from NTI. But this morning, I had went through the same thing anyway. So I read, guidance was telling me to read Colossians 3. And I'm going to read it because it was just, it's a continuation of what you were saying. I mean, it's a part, not a continuation. It's Colossians 3:18 through 25. Look on all that you see and love it, but do not identify with it, because it is not your truth, your reality. It is a reflection of your thought. Be grateful for the love that you find. Embrace it, but also be grateful for the reflection that seems not to be love, for it is what it seems not to be. It is. It comes to you in love and grace to show you what you have thought, that you may choose again. So that is just saying it's love, it's all love. So thank you very much for that message. It was just beautiful and right on time.
Thank you, Ruby. Got maybe a couple more minutes before I play our last song. Oh yeah, I see another hand. Who is it? Rhoda.
Good morning. Wow. Yeah, I am, this character is the queen of self-effacing. Very, very well-known activity in this lifetime. And I have been watching as that sort of energy just keeps flowing. Like, I guess what I'm starting to see, and as I listen to you speak, all I could feel is this sense that believing attention goes to this idea that I can get it wrong, this idea that it's not good enough, and this idea that it's not perfect. Not because it's getting it wrong, just because that's what attention does. It kind of just follows the brightest, shiniest object, which in this character's life is, I get it wrong. I'm not doing it well enough. So thank you for once again, just pointing a very specific laser light to a very specific place that energy goes, that attention tends to flow to. It's just really so helpful to hear all the ways that it expresses so that it can be recognized and just allowed to flow rather than to be followed. Thank you for that, Kate. Thank you.
Thank you, Rhoda. Beautiful. Okay, so yeah, can we play the last song? Thank you, everybody. And we'll be putting a link up for donations. Much appreciated. Thank you, everybody. Love you.
This was our weekly gathering that we hold online. For more information, you can visit our website at awakening-together.org, or you can subscribe to our Awakening Together channel and click the bell for more notifications when we post our weekly gatherings. Thank you again for watching.